Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel Supercar Sunday. Back in the workshop today and we're on with another rust job. And it's another love job because this one's for my wife. It's my wife's car. What happened is she had a Honda Civic, I got it in one day to do the brakes. I jacked the car up, I had a look underneath, and would you believe underneath it was all rusty. So I thought it was about time that she had a new car. So basically I went on Copart, I had a look to see what there was, and I found this lovely Kuga for her on Copart. So this is the Kuga, and it was an accident damaged car. We'll have a quick look round. It was an accident damaged car. It was stuffed in the front end, and I basically repaired the front end. So it had a new bonnet on it. We put a new bonnet on it. Did this car probably about 4 or 5 years ago now. So she's had it a while, and what's happened, as you can see, is we've got some rust come through on that bonnet edge. So I believe this rust has come through stone chips on that bonnet edge. On the rest of the bonnet there is stone chips all over. We've got one there. All over the bonnet. I might have to have a word with her about her driving actually. There's even one up here. So yeah, we've got some stone chips all over the bonnet. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to sand away this rust, I'm going to treat it, and then we're going to paint the bonnet again. So we've got the dual action sander all set up and ready. We've got some discs at the ready. But first I want to show you some of the tools that I bought for my Christmas draw. So basically I said that I was going to do a Christmas draw this year because I'm kind like that. A Christmas giveaway for my subscribers. So obviously if you wanted to be in with a chance of winning these, just subscribe to the channel and watch my future videos leading up to the Christmas draw. Like my videos leading up to the Christmas draw. So it will be getting drawn a couple of days before Christmas. Now, every week I'm buying a tool that's going towards these tools here that I bought already. So far what we've got is we've got these long reach screwdrivers. This trim tool set I bought, handy for stripping down your door cards and removing clips on bumpers and things like that. Got a sanding block, obviously, if you want to do a bit of filler work, and this handy tool here. So I use one of these in a lot of my videos. Very, very handy tool for stripping down bumpers, stripping down doors, stripping down all sorts really. It's just a really, really handy little set. So that's what I've got in the drawer so far. Don't forget, all you've got to do to be in with a chance of winning these and the future tools that I'm going to put towards this little bundle, all you've got to do is subscribe to the channel and watch and like my future videos. Right, with all that said, let's get on with this job. And I just want to say there's an absolute storm at the moment out here. It's not as bad as what it was, but you might hear it during some of the video. Right, let's get bashed on. So we're going to start this by giving it a good degrease, giving it a good wipe down. Get all these bits of bird shit off and everything else. So we won't get everything off, but it'll certainly clean it up enough before we sand it. So I'm going to need these out next. So we're going to have to pop the bonnet. And yep, would you believe I'm going to have to strip down the bonnet to get them out. Right, we have now got those washer jets removed. So next job I'm going to get on and I'm going to actually prep that bonnet up. So I've got a 500 grade disc in the DA and I'm just going to give the bonnet a good sand over. Right, we've got that bonnet all prepped up, and that will do for now. So basically we can see what's going on now. We can see where the chips are. So the next job is to clean up this rust. So we're going to try and remove this rust with a DA disc first. I'm going to hit it with a 120 disc on the DA, and I'm going to see what happens. So you can see the 120 discs being quite effective. It's knocking it down, it's not too harsh. What I'm going to do is I'm going to continue and take the rest of it down with a 120 disc. And then I'm going to come back and try something else just to get these bits out. Right, we have now got all the rust tucked down on the front of the bonnet with a 120 grade disc on the DA. Next job is to use this handy tool, and we're going to take the rust down further. So we're going to get these bits down, and what this will do, so this is a fibre wheel, this is a bit more coarse than the 120 disc on the DA, and that should take those bits down. And if you're interested in purchasing one of these tools, I'll see if I can find one on Amazon, and I'll copy a link and I'll post it in the comments if I do manage to find one at a reasonable price. So I've got all them rusted areas dressed up now with my Milwaukee mini angle grinder, and under the bonnet I opened up a can of worms. So it's a lot worse than what I thought under the bonnet. I've dressed it up. I've had to get the big grinder out onto it and dress it up with that, and I've also gone over it with a DA. Now you might think, why don't you just throw it away? It's rotten, throw it away and get a new one. Well, the reason why I'm not going to throw it away and get a new one is because it's our car. I'm going to continue to repair it. I'm going to treat that rust. It will last some time. It'll last a couple of years treated, and also it'll make for good content. So the top of the bonnet, the front of the bonnet, it's still solid. It's still absolutely solid. Repairing that underneath, the bonnet's going to last for some time, and for what it's going to take me to repair it, it's probably going to take me about 4 or 5 hours to repair this bonnet. A bit of materials, a bit of paint and materials, and it's going to save buying a new bonnet and doing a much bigger job, and we'll easily get probably 3 or 4 years out of that bonnet. So I've just feathered all this out with a 240 disc now on the DA, and next up is I'm going to put some of this on. So this is Nitromorse rust converter, and I've got this from Halfords, but I will find some other stuff that I also use, and I'll put a link in the comments to that stuff. I'll find something on Amazon again. So hopefully you can see, I've just got a brush, and you can see why I've got some sheeting over the front of the car with dropping that there. I'm just going to brush it in along that front edge, and this will hold that rust back. Goes a lot further than what you think, this stuff. So I've probably got a bit too much on here. And spread it about a bit. So that'll do there. We'll leave that to go off. We'll go in the house and have a cup of tea, and then that should have gone off by the time I come back out. I've had me brew and the rust converter's now gone off. It's also gone off under there. So what I'm going to do now is give this a light sanding off. I've got some 240 on this block, and I'm just going to go over the top and take any high bits away. Just a light sanding, and that'll form a key as well. So I've gone over that with some 240, giving it a good key off, and I've also gone over it with a Scotch pad. I've also done under here. So next I'm going to get some filler in there, and I'm going to get some filler in the front of the bonnet. So I've got the filler in there now, and I've got the filler under there, and you'll see it's different to the stuff that I've used on the top of the bonnet. So this is what I put in the top of the bonnet, dolphin glaze, and this is like a stopper for things like stone chips and pit holes in filler. When you're using normal filler, you go over it with this, a glaze of this, dolphin glaze, and you put, this will just go in the any holes you're left with, pit holes, but it's also good for things like on the bonnet. Obviously there were just like very minor sort of holes left when we took the rust away. This goes in nice and level, so it's spot on for what we're doing. This here, it's a fiberglass resin, very fine fiberglass mix, and that's what I've put underneath the bonnet. So this is like a bridging filler. It's hard, goes off hard. It's absolutely ideal for what we needed underneath the bonnet. So this will last a long time. It's spot on. It's exactly what we needed. The only thing that would have been better than this would have been the metal filler. I'm just looking for it, and I can't see it anywhere. Yeah, the only thing that would have been better than the fiberglass resin would be like the metal filler that I normally use. I use it in a lot of my videos, but I haven't got any anywhere to show you, and that's why I'm not using it. That probably would have been a bit better, harder. Probably maybe Bond's better. I do prefer using that rather than this, but I can't find any anywhere, so I think I chucked it on the last job I did. moving things along a little, we've now got the vehicle all masked off and we're ready to get it in primer. So I've got my spray suit on and I've got some aerosol etch primer, and I'm just going to give it a coat of this first. While that etch primer is going off, I'll show you that I've got some primer in the gun. So I've just put some high build primer in there, I've just mixed it up. So it's a 4:1 high build primer. This is the stuff we're using here, it's a U-Pol. So U-Pol System 20, you can get this off eBay. 4:1 mix, it's grey. So that's that all done now, and it's in high build primer. I'm just leaving the heat lamps on it for 15 minutes. Gonna get packed up, go in the house, and then I'll come back and I'll finish it off tomorrow. I'm back in the workshop, just opened up, and we're going to be getting back on with this Ford Kuga. So the primer's now gone off on that bonnet, and I'm going to prep this up next. And when it's prepped up, I'll be painting it with my Porpoise spray gun. So this is the spray gun I'll be using. It's a Porpoise PRD 715, and it is a Chinese spray gun. But before we get into the prep and paint, I want to show you something else. So I've just had a delivery. This is my delivery. And it is in fact a body kit for my van. So this is my van, it's a Transit Custom, and I thought it was about time I tidied this old van up. So a quick look around the van, you'll see it's got lots of damage. We've got a dent there, it had a nasty dent there when I got it. I pushed it out a bit. We've got a scrape on there and there. We've got some rust along the bottom, in the usual places these vans start to rust. We've got a nasty dent in the back where I reversed into a sign. and there's more damage down this side. You'll see those lower doors are damaged, and also this doesn't work, so I'm thinking about taking this out. There's a nasty dent on the bonnet. Also, I'm wanting to colour code the front and the rear bumpers. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to doing that van up. I think it's going to look really smart when it's all freshened up, painted white again, and also got that body kit fitted. It's going to look really smart. So that's going to be another video coming soon. I can't wait. Right, back on with this bonnet. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to apply a guide coat. We'll let that go off and then we'll prep it up. I've got a 240 on a block there, and I'm just going to start knocking this primer down now with the extraction on. So we've got that all prepped up now, 240 on a block. Next we're going to wet flat it with some 800 wet or dry on the block. So last thing to do is give it a scotch off. So this is a scotch pad, it's a grey scotch, and we've got a bit of prep and blend paste, and I'm just going to go over it to get any 800 marks out that might be in it before we paint. So we're jumping forward on this one now. As you'll see, I've got it all prepped up. We prepped it up with some 800. We started with the 240 dry before that. Then we've gone over it with a grey scotch pad and some prep and blend paste. Got it all cleaned down. The job is all masked up now, and it's time to get it painted. So this is a gun that I'm going to be using. It is my Porthos PRD 715. So this is a gun that I recently bought. I bought it a couple of weeks ago. Chinese spray gun. It was 250 quid. It is absolutely mint, and I will tag a link to this one in the comments if anyone's interested in buying one. I would highly advise, if you haven't got one of these and you do paint work, this gun, trust me, it could be for you. It is a really, really good paint gun. So we've got the bonnet all in base coat. I've applied a drop coat. We're now going to get it in lacquer. Got the lacquer mixed up. It's in the same gun. We're now going to get the lacquer applied to the bonnet. So it's the next morning, we're back in the workshop and we've now got the bonnet in paint. So there it is, we painted it with the Porfis PRD 715 spray gun. Now it has dulled off slightly, and the reason for that is because, well, it was quite cold last night, even though I had the heat on in here. But basically, there's two reasons. So it would have gone cold when I come out the garage last night. It was getting on. We're in December now. Also, I did pile a load of lacquer on this, and I probably wouldn't have had the correct amount of time between coats. It was getting late. I was trying to get the job pushed on. The reason why I piled so much lacquer on was because I got something landed in the bonnet. So I picked that out and then I piled another coat on. And the idea is to flat that down and polish it up. So that's what we'll do next. But I'm going to leave this to go off a bit longer first, and I'm going to get on with another job. So the next job I'm going to be getting on with is the Transit Custom. So this is a Transit Custom. I'll be getting on with this next, but I'll do this in another video. So before I start the Transit Custom, I'm going to demask this, get it out the workshop, get the Transit Custom in. I'll start the Transit Custom, but then I'll go back to this, polish it up, and I'll show you what it looks like. I've now got the car out the workshop and there's a few little areas that need addressing. So there's a bit there that I want to flat and polish out, and there was a bit in the bonnet here, I don't know if you can see it. It's where something landed in the bonnet and I picked it out, and that's why I ended up putting that heavier coat of lacquer on. But I'm going to get them bits flatted out now and I'm going to polish it up. Right, so I got this car finished last night and I've left it obviously till the next morning so we can have a look at it because it was starting to get a bit dark. So here it is, this is what it looks like. All that rust now gone, looking absolutely fantastic. And that's exactly how I wanted it to look, because we've now decided that we're going to sell the car and we're going to put the money into something else.